Hello Pisces, this is your 2022 yearly predictions, tarot predictions. So here we go. And I'm not going to use reversals. There will be 12 cards, one card for each month. So I'll have 3 rows of 4, January, February, March, April, then May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so these are your 12 cards. We're a year, you're 12 months. So let's see what we've got here. For the month of January, you have the Hermit, which is isolation but yet seeking spiritual guidance. For February, you have the Ace of Swords. March, you have the Four of Swords. April, you have Five of Wands. Okay? These are the first 4 months of the year. Looking pretty contentious, but I'll get to that. This is May, the Hangman. This is June, which is Seven of Swords. July, which is Two of Cups, very interesting. Seven of Cups. So we've gotten a lot of swords. And now we're moving into water for the second half of the year. This is September. You have Six of Pentacles. October, you've got a Nine of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Okay, so a couple things that I see going on in your year for 2022, focusing on any major arcana and looking at the elements. I'm looking at cups, fire, air, and pentacles. Cups representing emotions and feelings, intuition. Aries representing fire, which is inspiration, joy, optimism, your will, making things happen, using magic. Then we have air, which is our intellect, how we perceive our reality, our judgment. And then finally pentacles, which is about our material world, our physical world, money, family, home, things that we own, our wealth, job prospects. Okay, so what I do see going on with your major arcana, and they usually tell the core of your year, the core of your narrative story in tarot. And you do have 2, which is the Hermit and the Hangman. And both of these, what these 2 cards have in common is that they're both about having patience, slowing down, and taking time to see the big picture. The Hermit is about seeking enlightenment. And you might be alone. Let's say that you have a breakup, and some of you Pisces people might be actually dealing with that. So you are taking this time out alone to seek guidance, to know what your next direction is. All you know is that you need a change, and it might not be easy. Okay? It's sort of like some of you might find yourselves starting a new journey. Same thing for the Hangman. This is about learning to, the Hangman is interesting because it's about being in a very uncomfortable situation. And learning, and you see that there's a halo around his head. It means that during this difficult time, he's also seeking spiritual enlightenment, and that's why the Hermit and the Hangman have a lot in common. They might be going through an event they have no control over. And so you might expect that for 2022. This story of things being beyond your control, and yet finding some type of emotional balance. And so when I see all these swords, swords are very dominant here for you. You have Ace of Swords, Four of Swords, Seven of Swords, and Nine of Swords. Swords, again, are usually the most depressing element. They represent air, and usually they're the most depressing element because the swords focus on our emotional fears, again, our anxieties, our psychological profile and well-being. So we have Judgment, we have Four of Swords, which means retreat, and then Seven of Swords, which means secrets, and then Nine of Swords, which means drama or insecurity. Okay, so let's look at the beginning of your year. Alone, Ace of Swords is about clarity and truth. Four of Swords is about retreat, taking a step back. Five of Wands is about conflict. Sometimes it's about competition. It's not as severe as a Five of Swords, which would mean losing a battle, being defeated. But it does mean that there might be jealousy, competition, pettiness, arguments. So the first half of this year, the first 4 months of this year for you Pisces, it's going to be a little contentious. And part of it is going to be, I think some of you are going to be running into road bumps in your personal relationships, even a romantic relationship. And it could be with this Four of Swords that you and a romantic partner decide to take a break and not, see each other, or someone might be ghosting you, and this might lead to an argument. So I'm kind of seeing a little bit of you confronting a lot of things in your personal relationships and in your life in general. And that's why I feel like you're beginning this year very introspective, and circumstances in 2021 probably puts you in a position where you just had to sit still and figure things out. And I don't think you have a problem with that, Pisces. I think you're very intuitive, but you're always optimistic. But like I said, not a lot of water going on here. Swords and Wands are usually defensive tools. So all of this is about going through confrontations, protecting yourself, defending yourself, and at the same time trying to understand what this whole experience of that you're going through means. So when May comes around in the summer, we're going to see a couple of interesting transitions, but I want to warn you what I'm seeing here. Two of Cups, it usually means marriage and emotional commitment. And so don't assume necessarily that this is going to be you getting married. There are things that are giving me a heads up here, that the Seven of Swords, again, it's the card of secrets. And it can mean you doing something in secret to protect yourself, not telling anyone. And I kind of feel like there's a surprise marriage proposal or something involved. The fact that the Seven of Swords precludes comes before the Two of Cups, I'm kind of feeling that there's going to be a lot of secrecy with this union, that there might be a surprise marriage or a surprise relationship. And that's why when I look at the Seven of Cups, I'm like, okay, this means procrastination. Someone has to make a difficult decision. Someone has to commit or get off the pot. And that could be you. You could be having some emotional commitment issues. But I do feel that this sequence here with the Hangman, which is, again, as I explained, it means going through a very difficult time, but just realizing you can't control things, and just hang in there, and don't freak out. That's basically what the Hangman's about. Being able to go through a difficult situation and coming out of it more enlightened than when you began. So I feel like, yeah, there are more relationship commitment issues going on during this next 4 months of the year. And that an issue of someone not coming forward with emotional commitment is going to be a big issue for you heading into the last part of the first half, near the 6th month. So the summer could be pretty turbulent for you as far as relationships, because someone has to make an emotional choice. You're either going to move forward in a relationship, or you're just going to call it quits. But someone has to make a decision, and it could be a romantic partner in your life. As we close out the year, you're starting to get some pentacles here. And pentacles represent earth. Earth is very grounding and stable. And that's a good thing for you, Pisces. So when we head into September, it's a month of generosity, replenishment. Someone coming forward, and this could apply to your job as well, but usually when I see this card, it means that someone is going to give you a gift, someone is going to look out for you. Maybe you applied for a loan, it could be a scholarship. So some money or a gift, something that you will really appreciate, will be coming for you in September. We have one more sword, and that's in October, and this is the drama card. And it can also mean that you have energy vampires in your life who are draining your energy. And so this picture is depicting a woman who's having nightmares, who's having trouble sleeping, because these swords are hanging over her, that there are things that she's worried about that are keeping her up at night. We move to this next pentacle. This is a 7 of Pentacles. And this is the card of waiting. Okay? It means that you're waiting for a project to come through. Maybe you could be waiting for someone, a romantic partner. But you could be waiting for an important decision in November. And I feel like this has a lot to do with your job energy, especially with the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like some of you are going to be starting new careers, especially in light of this pandemic. So I feel like 7 of Pentacles, you're waiting for something to come through, a position for a job. But when we get here in December, it feels like you are going to be recognized for your work. Again, this could mean getting a movie role or getting an award, or just being promoted. And the 3 of Pentacles, the number 3 is magical because it means perfection. So it means that near the end of the year, you're going to, even though your love life and relationships are pretty rocky, you're going to end the year on a career high note. So if I could just sum up what I'm seeing here for you, Pisces. I'm seeing a lot of turbulence in relationships. I see you starting the year contemplating a big conflict or a breakup. And in the summer, things will kind of start resolving themselves. Someone's going to have to make a choice here. And then when we head into the last part of the year, your career energy is going to sort of take over. It's going to be very dominant. And you might not be worried about these drama vampires, these emotional vampires, because your career is going so well. And I think you're going to learn from this Nine of Swords to just let go. You know, you don't have to let people play around in your personal emotional space and manipulate you. So, like I said, I feel like this is you sort of getting ready to push people out of your life who are not for your spiritual good. And so I see these swords here. Like I said, these swords here, I'm seeing it as personal conflict in your relationships. And then we have that one wand, which is fire, which means that you might have some arguments, and you and someone that you're close to, or a personal relationship, you might not be seeing eye to eye in the spring. So just be careful. Love life will be rocky, but I see your career, business hopes taking off, your wealth, your money. I think everything is just going to explode for you in December. And that's what I see for you in the coming year, Pisces. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next month.